It's tower time. I don't have anything else. Let's just get into the video. Hey, hello, beloveds. It is Sister Card here. Hopefully, y'all having a great day. I am having a great day. We are back today in World Zero because we're going to go over the recent update that not only included this lovely guy, but also included a tower update. So the tower got revamped. I've actually been waiting because I figured that after being out for a week that they would redo the tower, and so I'm going to go over what the tower has, how to defeat the bosses easily, some tips and tricks, because some of them can be a little bit tricky and can kill you quite easily. But let's get on into the video, that normal intro stuff. So if you haven't already, please make sure you smash the like button, do the same to the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it, helps me out a lot. And our beautiful pleb of the day is All My King 01 Gamer. Do you know why the lipstick and the eyeliner got into a fight? Don't worry, they will make up. Yes, I get it. Thank you for the love and support, I appreciate it. Alright guys, so the tower is still the same for the Atlantis Tower, or Tower 2 as people are calling it. So what you need to do is you need to get into a lobby, get into a server, go get into the physical tower. So how the tower is now set up is it basically is one continuously long corridor. You will have areas that you have to kind of run around in a little bit in order to collect the mobs. But basically, in order to unlock the next floor now, you have to get all the mobs defeated. So this includes the chest mobs, this includes the regular mobs. What this has done with this new tower revamp is I did notice that there was at least one chest mob every floor. Sometimes there were 3, but more often than not, there was 1 or 2 that we would encounter. So while it doesn't help in the grand total of chest mobs you could get in a tower run, it does ensure that the entire party has to clear the entire dungeon, which means you are guaranteed to get those chests. So it's a more incentive now to stay in the tower all the way to the end. So you can get eggs, you can get Dragoon tickets if you haven't already unlocked the class, you can get food, whatever it may be. Now, I have found that if you kind of stay in a herd almost and just kind of clear the rooms, it does go a lot faster. The tower is now taking about 30 minutes to complete, which an inexperienced group with the previous tower, that was about the same time they were completing it in. It is no longer a challenge to search through the floors. The bosses are now the biggest problem, which I am really, really thankful for. So with the first boss, we have the deep sea diver. He does have the cyclone, so all you need to do is just kind of watch his feet when he... Again, you're looking to see what their attack patterns are. You see the circle, kind of back up a little bit so you don't get sucked into it. If you do get sucked into the cyclone, make sure you hit your C, your dodge button. This will help get you out of the cyclone. Next boss that we have up on the docket is the Mama Megalodile. So it's basically a shark on the ground with legs. It's cute. Again, with this one, you're just going to want to watch the circle. She has a fling attack, which will fling you to the edge of the arena. Sometimes it'll throw you out, but it will respawn you back in because you're not dying to damage. But if you see the white circle, that's the fling. If you see the blue circle, that's the one you need to pay most attention to, because that is the one that summons her cyclone. And her cyclone is devastating. It does the same thing as the diver. So you just need to watch out when you're seeing that. Just kind of back on up. Super easy boss. Most of the bosses in the tower are fairly easy to get through. The only one I really have problems with is the siren, but we'll get to her in a minute. So make sure while you are clearing the floors that you are picking up everything, because it is a ton of pet food. You will get an absolute ton of pet food. And if you're needing to still hunt for the candy canes, I managed to get about a full rank's worth of candy canes running through the tower. So if you're wanting to farm that and not wanting to, you know, reset account or continuously do dailies, that would be a way to do it. So the next one we have is the Pirate Crab. I would have to say he is probably the easiest of the bosses, because most of the time he just stands there. He's fairly straightforward. I do love the design on him. He looks absolutely adorable. But yeah, I would say he's probably the easiest of the bosses. He still does have his own AoE that does damage and does a knockdown, But, I mean, if you have good resistance pets, weapons, armor, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Now, the next boss that we have that resides on floor 12 is the Siren. Now, the Siren has 3 attacks. She has the diamond that she does on the ground, which that one can do upwards of 1/3 of your health if you're caught in it. So all you have to do to avoid that is literally just stand in where it's not on the floor. The next attack that throws some people off, and I see some people not move to dodge it, is the bubbles. So the bubbles, real simple, you're going to see them start growing. It's literally like if it's an overhead attack. Just start moving, keep moving outwards, and you will eventually be able to get out of the path. Now, normally the Siren starts with this giant, huge AoE attack, and for whatever reason in the fight I did, she did not. But normally, the Siren's main attack, and the attack that gets the most people, it's basically this huge massive cyclone, is this large blue attack. Now, as you just saw, I jumped up onto a platform. This platform, you don't take damage. Now, unless you are ranged like Mage of Light, and hopefully with the Archer class coming, you will be able to dodge it easily. So that way when the attack is over, you are actually able to move in and go and collect your rewards. Now for the final boss of the dungeon. So at this point, I would say for the last few floors, make sure you're sticking together because the mobs are going to have a lot more health. And even with fully decked out gear, some of them can take some time to take down. So if you stick together as a group, especially with demons and dragoons working together, it should be pretty easy to take care of. Now for the Kraken, the end game boss. This one will probably take you the most amount of time, especially with the new floor revamp. So the Kraken has 2 stages, let's call it. We're going to call it stage 1 is basically it comes down and all the tentacles drop down. So with that, what you're going to do is just kind of bait them. You walk back and forth, you'll get them to fall. Sometimes it's good to stay in a group. Sometimes going off by yourself, if you can heal yourself, is okay. You just have to keep in mind, if you're going off by yourself, you do have to take care of stuff. I wouldn't really say sticking as a group in this point is a problem during it, but you do need to be paying attention. So these are basically the normal tentacles, as I'm calling them. I mean, they still have like, the one I was fighting had like 160k health apiece. That's still a tremendous amount of health to have to deal with. It'll take you a couple times. Make sure you're avoiding the toxic circles because those will do damage over time to you. And it is pretty devastating. It can be 700 points of damage, which if you're low on health, that can last for a while. Basically, once you get all the tentacles down in the first phase, you will be queued up where you have to go stand in a circle in order to charge up the cannon because a tsunami is coming. Because the Kraken has summoned a tsunami, so we have to save Atlantis and stop it. So basically all you have to do is go stand in circles. It charges up the cannon. Someone has to go stand on the cannon circle, and it fires a cannon at the tsunami. Now at this point, my recommendation is if you're running with a group of people, have someone stand near the back of the arena so that the cannon, which is going to keep prompting throughout the next stage, stage 2, is able to get it quickly while everyone else is kind of working on the tentacles on the other side of the map. So after you have fired that cannon, and we now start the second stage, you will see the tentacles come back up, and they will be significantly beefier. They are now elite level bosses, which means they do more damage, and they have a significantly more health. I think the ones I was fighting had 210k health, which is insane. But during the second stage, not only are the tentacles stronger, we are going to get the tsunami incoming prompt several more times. So what I would recommend if you're running in a group is someone stay at the circle where the fire of the cannon starts and kind of have the rest of the group work on charging it. If you have a smaller group, just whoever has the fastest mount, so whoever basically has the Robux mount, go over and get it for the rest of the group. I would not recommend clustering together because unfortunately when you get one or more tentacles slamming down on one of the slabs or multiple people on a slab, it will cause the slabs to collapse. And if you do fall in the water, you do take damage over time. So do keep that in mind. Also keep Warning, if you drag the tentacles together, they're going to start spawning that acid closer and closer together, and it can start wiping out your group pretty quickly. The one thing to note with this boss, I mean, it's as long as you're able to dodge and you're paying attention to the prompts, it's not too terribly hard. It's not like Dragon where, you know, if you stood in the wrong place at the wrong time, it's an insta-wipe. If you are paying attention to the floor, you're paying attention to the prompts, it shouldn't be too difficult to get through. What I will warn is, while I was doing my run, is we actually, at the very end, after we defeated all the tentacles, we actually had the tsunami prompt. So I will let you know, you need to go ahead and complete that tsunami prompt, because if someone's still opening chests and that wave comes through, it will count it as a defeat. So as you can see, my group went ahead and took care of the tsunami prompt before we even went over and got our chests. Alright, plebeians, hopefully that is going to help y'all get through the tower. Hopefully it'll make it a little more enjoyable experience for you. And thank you for making it this far in the video if you always have. I greatly appreciate it. It helps me out a lot. And I will see y'all next time. Bye!